Okay, so I want to do something a little bit different today, but as someone that runs a YouTube channel, I'm always looking at ways to kind of spice up my studio or my content space, and I want to look at an accent light for a studio. Now you can see over my shoulder right here, I actually have the NEEWER NF01 floor lamp, and this is a pretty interesting, incredibly flexible light that I just want to kind of talk about today. This NF1 floor lamp is a vertical smart LED light bar, and this sucker is capable of delivering 16 million colors. If you can think of a color, if you can think of a color combination, you're probably going to be able to get it on this lamp. And it's also really important to remember about this thing that this is primarily designed as an accent light. This is going to give you lots of range, but it's there to kind of accentuate the light and color in a room. You're not going to need this as like a hardcore reading light per se. This is definitely there to add some flavor. And what's nice about it is because it's got that 16 million colors in that LED, this puppy comes with an incredible level of flexibility with what you can get from it. Now, the first thing you'll notice about this light is that it is obviously, it is like very sleek and minimalist with a very small footprint. So what I liked about this, it easily slips into any existing room or office that you have with minimal fuss. I really didn't have a problem putting this pretty much in any corner I wanted, but it is the light of this thing that honestly, if we're here, that's what we're gonna talk about it. So let's talk about this thing as a light. Now, first thing to put out of the way, like I said, this is a full RGBW LED light that packs in a punch of 1500 lumens if you want to take it up all the way. But it's dimmable too, so that means if you're in a dark room, you want to watch TV, you can bring it down to kind of match the room tone and control it. Now that 1500 lumens is actually really important because as you can see, I'm bouncing the light into the wall behind me, and this light is designed to be bounced into a wall. So you want to have enough juice that you can bounce in the wall and still get around it. Now I'm in a situation right now, I actually have studio lights going on, and you can see right now that 1500 lumens is enough to actually stand out against the studio lights that I have going on here in my YouTube channel. Now in addition to the power of this, there are, like I said, a lot of lighting modes. We're gonna really dive into that in a second. Now, as an LED light, the first thing is there is going to be a bicolor mode you do have on this light, and it has a Kelvin temperature that runs from 1800K all the way up to 6500K. But let's be honest, if you're investing in an accent light like this, you're probably much more interested in the RGB flexibility and options that a light like this can bring. And this light comes with a lot of them. Now, right out of the box, this thing comes with over 50 preset scenes in addition to a music and sync mode. This light is really nice in the fact that because you're gonna put it in a corner, it comes with this remote control. So as you can see, I can cut it right off over my shoulder and I can cut it back on. Kind of a nice thing to have. And it has a basic level of controls here on the remote. You can do a multicolor mode, a bicolor mode. You can set the static color. You can do the brightness, stuff like that. Really good to go. But let's be honest. Where you really are going to go on this is going to actually be on your phone. That's what really unlocks everything this light can do. The first thing to understand about this light is you got to make sure you get the right app. Now, NEEWER actually makes a ton of photos and video equipment. So you want to make sure you get the NEEWER Home app. And there's a NEEWER app that controls a lot of their lights and stuff and cinema rigs and like that. This is more in the NEEWER Home line. So make sure you get the NEEWER Home app. Now, once you do that, you open it up and you're gonna basically be able to connect to your lamp. And honestly, it's Bluetooth enabled. I could find it very easily. I just cut that on right here, and now it's gonna connect to it. And now you can see, I can cut it on and off right here, and you'll see I can cut the light on and off. That's all well and dandy, but it's really the flexibility that comes from this app. It's so intuitive that it lets you see exactly what you got. Now I'm gonna come over to illumination first, just so you can see it. And you can see here, this essentially is that Kelvin temperature guide. Now, you can see I can there's actually some basically presets I can set on there, or I can just slide that 100% in whatever direction I want. So if I want a very cool light, I can go up to 6500. If I want very warm, I can go to 1800. And if you look at the top here, you have a dimmer. You can see I'm at 100% now, but I can get this thing very subtle right there, all the way down to 6%, all the way down to 1%, or I can crank it all the way up to 100. So the basic bicolor scenes are going to be something that are very intuitive to anybody that's ever used any lights like this. But it's when you get to color that you start to have a little more fun. So I'm going to come over to the color mode. And as you can see here, I can do a couple things. One, I can actually have a color wheel here, and I can just scroll around and get to any color that I want. And you're going to see this is very responsive. I'm moving around. You can see it basically just goes in real time to what I got. So if you have a room that you have a specific color tone, you can really get that. And you can just basically do some pre-checks, or you can go ahead and edit this and add your own favorites to it. In addition to that, you can actually come over and get a more full spectrum type light and do a color gamut with saturation this way, or you can come back to the color wheel. It's whichever you prefer. And what I thought was kind of cool, one thing my kids really like, in addition to the full spectrum, you can actually come over here to a segment, and you can actually see now the light gets segmented, but you can come in here and actually dial in different lights here to do different things that you want. So you can dial in exactly how you wanted that segment. Now, if you come over to the scenes, this is where it just starts to get really crazy. You have tons of different scenes. I have a rainbow scene right there, but let's say you want to do a sunset. You can sit there and it'll do a different type of scene like that. You can make an aurora, obviously a ton of different scenes there. And that's just one. You'll notice it has natural, it actually has life presets. So let's say, I guess the movie presets, if you're doing movies and whatnot like that, I don't know. But there's so many. You have festive, the Christmas, we get you nice Christmas kind of festive things. And you can do emotional, which I found interesting. I kind of like the comfortable. I thought that was interesting. Even a heartbeat was kind of fun. And there's sports, just in case you need, let's say you're a New England football fan because they're going to the Super Bowl coming up, you could do that. Or you can actually come over here and there's a DIY effects. You can make your DIY effects. And then if you come to music, you have two options. One, it can come from the device itself. So you can see right now, this is reacting to me speaking. My kids love this, by the way. But let's say you're playing music specifically from your phone in another part of the house. You can click here from the phone and run it from there and go from that. And then you have sensitivity, speed, and lighting like that. So as you can see, when you combine this smart LED with a phone app, this NEEWER Home app, this light can just basically be like a crazy supercharged on steroids accent light. I'm actually blown away by all the stuff you can do with it. I've had so much fun playing with this. Now, whenever I do a review, I always like to point out what I consider any rooms for improvement, and just in case you're aware of what this light does and what it can, if it makes sense for you. And my big thing is this light pretty much does exactly what you would expect to do as an accent light. The only room for improvement, it's not really room for improvement, it's just more an awareness of what this light is and what this isn't. This is really a great accent light. It adds great kind of tone to any room. But if you need like a corner, like reading light or something you can put in a corner and read to, I don't think this is going to be really perfect for that. You technically do have enough power, you could get away with that, but that's not really what this is designed for. So that'd be the only thing I would make sure you're aware about, what this thing is really more designed for than not. Anyway, guys, I'd love to hear what you have to say with this. Leave me notes in the comments down below. And yeah, go out there, keep on shooting. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.